Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and you're listening to the GearyCast. Before we start today's episode, we're going to talk about this very, very special young boy who has turned 2 years last week. Robin, this episode is for you.
Hi everyone. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name's Elizabeth and I live in Mijas Polo. I've been in Spain actually for 24 years. And the reason I'm making this video is because Robin, my grandson, was born 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago on the 19th of January, with neuroblastoma, which is a rare, high-risk, aggressive childhood cancer. A couple of days after his first birthday last year, Robin started screaming, which is extremely unlike him, as he was normally a happy baby. So my daughter Rachel and her husband Nick took him to their local hospital in London, from where he was rushed to Great Ormond Street Hospital, which is where they discovered he had neuroblastoma. Following the diagnosis, he went through 6 months of intensive chemotherapy, then an operation to remove any bits of tumour that were left, followed by radiotherapy. He has spent the last year of his life in hospitals. The family are now in Barcelona, where Robin is receiving groundbreaking immunotherapy treatment, which is not available in the UK. This treatment will give him an 85% survival rate into adulthood, so it's absolutely vital. Obviously, this treatment in Barcelona is very expensive, so his family, including myself, are desperately trying to raise the money needed to prolong his life. The initial amount required was €500,000, but through crowdfunding both here and in the UK and other private donations, the figure has now gone down to nearly half and is around €260,000, which is still a lot of money. I am overwhelmed by all the support I am receiving here in Spain for Robin, from both English and Spanish people. So I'm really asking for any donations, however small, as it all adds up, to go towards Robin's cancer treatment. At the moment this fundraising is ongoing and very, very stressful, especially for Rachel and Nick. But the support we are all receiving is helping us all to stay positive. So thank you very much.
Oh, wow. A very important message there. And obviously, from everyone at the GearyCast, Chris, you especially, for bringing this to our attention. We wish you the best.
Heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah, as you said, Chris, as a parent ourselves, when you hear stories like that, it just makes you very thankful that your own child isn't going through something very, very similar. I believe there should be a QR code being shown on the screen, Chris. Where will that take us?
That will take us to Nick and Rachel's GoFundMe page, where there's a beautiful amount already, 139,000 pounds raised already, and it's not enough. They need 500,000 pounds to pay for the treatment Robin's getting, and I don't know. I find it insane that we even have to raise money for this kind of things, and why there is no insurance or health insurance, or even on a political level, right? Why is the government of England, for example, helping or paying it? And I don't know. I think it's so important. As Grandma said, Robin has been in and out of hospitals for the past year, which is just horrible for a kid of 2 years old.
Yeah, especially when they don't really know what's happening to them as well,
Yeah.
which is probably the most devastating part. But yeah, we wish Robin well. Like I said, the QR code should be in the corner of your screen. We'll share it onto our socials as well. If there is anything you can do to help Robin, then please do donate onto those Just Giving.
It's very easy. If you scan the QR code, it takes you directly to the GoFundMe page, where it's very easy to pay if you can, of course. If you can miss some, and we will keep sharing it during the next weeks. Maybe we can keep the QR code off because I think this QR code is more important than the Giricast badge you normally see. And we will continue to fight for Robin as well until we are reach the 500,000.
Absolutely. So, in the grand scheme of things, getting all ranty about Malaga Club de Football's performance this weekend probably pales in comparison, but that's what we are here to do. This is the Giricast live on Sports Direct Radio and as part of the Sports Social Podcast Network. I think we're all tripping ourselves up on that one. I'm also joined by Chris Marquez, as you well know. I'm your host, Nick Bell, but we're also joined by Luke Chambers. How are you, Luke?
I'm very well, mate. Settled back into the British weather, unfortunately, after a lovely weekend, but raring to go.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame that you're back amongst all the cold like I've been all weekend, having no festivities in Malaga like you did. So, yeah, sounds like you had a bit of a messy one. There's lots of funny stories I don't know if I can say on this podcast, so maybe we'll keep them to ourselves.
I think we'll keep the stories to a WhatsApp or the Giricast community kind of thing because it got a little bit hectic, that's all we'll say.
It does sound a little bit hectic, but we'll play some Depeche Mode later just to...
no, don't do it to me. Don't do it to me.
That can be our podcast ending. And straight from
Depeche Mode. I only know Depeche Mode.
And straight from Madrid as well, we are joined by the one and only Alex Ashmore, famous Alex Ashmore now, because I believe he was on Real Madrid TV this weekend. Don't know if you caught you.
So, yeah, last Saturday I was live previewing training ahead of their match on Sunday against Almeria. They, of course, won 3-2. And yes, well, I didn't watch the game. I was at the basketball. So going to use my managerial response and say I didn't actually see it back.
Alex, I was free as for anyone who's free. I will be on Real Madrid TV at 11 o'clock. Well, I can tell you, if you're on Real Madrid TV, your voice was on Real Madrid TV.
Yes.
I will leave everything I was doing and I will listen to it. And I've listened to it and it was very good.
Thank you.
The only question I have, why didn't we see your face? Do they think you're too ugly for Real Madrid TV or?
No. So for those live training sessions, it is just a voiceover commentary, and I will be doing pieces to camera in the future. And if you happen to find yourself tuning in over the next few days, you'll probably hear my voice doing a few more voiceovers of highlights and news bulletins. But yes, I will be doing pieces to camera over the next couple of months, so you will see my face. And yeah,
was it easy or was it hard? How many takes did you need it?
But that one was live, straight out.
Live.
So, yeah,
professional.
Obviously, I did my research.
You mean it wasn't 20 minutes late or 30 minutes late?
It was, as I was speaking, it was going out.
Yeah,
broadcasting live.
You'd finished your tea and scones and made everything on time.
I didn't notice. It sounded really live, not live, like prepared.
Yeah, no, obviously I did my research and I prepped, but I was doing it from a fairly, I guess, on the spot moment. I was a little bit nervous, as one would be, I think, talking to an audience of that size, but it was really good fun.
No, but it was. And there's two things I'd take away from that. Like, first of all, you are not ugly. You are perfect for pieces of camera. But you'd be amazing at it.
I've got a face.
I agree.
No, you said
it was just a question. Because I would have contacted them if it was the case, and I would have said, no, Alex is a beautiful young boy.
Chris, are you saying I've got a face for radio?
Sorry?
Are you saying I've got a face for radio?
No, you have a face for television. I have a face for radio.
The second part of that is that Luke Chambers just said scones. So I don't know who's actually posher now. So that's what I would take away from that. That's not right.
Watch out, Luke, because Richard Esmer is coming for you, and you know it. Nick, I have a question. Nick, I saw a video, and I had to think of you.
Oh God!
Where are we going? Where are we going with this?
As always, I was watching our friend Alice Platten. He went to the most dangerous city in England. I was very intrigued, and it was Blackpool.
We are far from the most dangerous city in England. Jesus.
Did you see the video?
I've
not
seen that he
it
was
yet.
in Blackpool. Yeah. I saw that he came to watch us against. Who do we play? A couple of weeks against Exeter. Yeah. But we are not the most dangerous place in England, but by a long stretch.
Yeah, I won't say Blackpool's dangerous.
No.
But he said it. I didn't say it.
Actually, I need to retract that because we have a lot of Blackpool followers.
We do.
So I apologise to everybody from Blackpool.
Luke, as my dad would say, is it people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones?
Yeah, I mean, I deserve to give some stick for everything your dad gives to me about Doncaster, myself, my life, Malaga, any away team, my car, just anything.
Yeah.
The one thing he didn't do yet is your wife.
Luckily.
Says a lot about your wife.
I don't think you would do that. I don't think you would
Thank
do
you.
that.
Well, to get things back on track, firstly, Ellis Platten probably thinks Blackpool's dangerous because he looks a bit posher than most of us. So maybe that's why he thought that. Secondly, on to Malaga Club de Football. We have news this week, which is always quite fun. The first one being we have signed a 35-year-old winger. You did not mistake my hearing there. 35-year-old winger David Fierro. Is that how we're saying it? Or are we going Ferrero?
Ferreira?
Ferreira? I had no idea. However, we got a picture of him outside a hotel in his full Malaga gear. He's arrived from Cartagena. And even Matt Harrison said, "Oof, he looks old." Do you know what I mean? Like he doesn't look young. Obviously, January signings have been a bit of a miss so far. Teams like Castellon are bringing in 25-year-old Brazilians. We're bringing in 35-year-old people from Cartagena. Luke,
Can I start with saying that 35 is still very young?
It's the 35, is it? Young
For 35 is still very young.
For a football player.
I am 38 and I'm still very young.
He looks older than you, to be fair, Chris. So
Yeah.
It's quite the one. Luke, as far as a 35-year-old winger is concerned, are you impressed by this signing? Are you concerned about this signing? What are your feelings?
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this one. Now, I think
Are you still hungover from the weekend?
I think the whole of the transfer window for us has come as a surprise. Coming into it, I expected quite big things, and even listening to Lauren, I thought there was a plan. To me, this signing really shows that there is no plan whatsoever. I mean, this guy makes Mr. Miyagi look young.
Well, Alex, I think Luke's touching on something there that, we were expecting massive statements of intent. Like I say, other teams are doing as such. Castellon are signing players that have played in the Conference League this year. Granted, they're from Latvia, but it's still the Conference League. We should have seen more movement now, especially when we've got gaping holes that need to be filled that are glaringly obvious to everyone within this conversation. Lauren seems to be shopping in the bargain basement again, which is a shame because we've spoken at length about the Alex Calvo money. There was the Christian money. We've got the Ivan Jaime sell-on fees, the potential money coming in from other people. The money's there, but why is it not being spent?
Could I ask a quick question? Is he being signed to the playing staff or the coaching staff?
I would like to think.
I'm going to be honest because I get where you're all coming from, but I don't think it's fair because how many of you did see him play the last season?
No, this is true.
Then we have to stay quiet.
This is
Well,
true.
We cannot judge about anyone who we didn't see play.
But
I-
Chris,
As a winger, as a winger, what do you want from a winger? Direct, sharp, fast, skillful. He may have been that once upon a time. To me, a 35-year-old winger. If you're a 35 centre midfielder, maybe, but a winger, I don't. It's just not what I personally want to know about you guys.
That being said, Chris has got a point because last year we signed a 42-year-old striker who, didn't perform as well as he has done before, but we were very excited about that. So maybe it's not the flashiest signing, but
Would you sign Gareth Bale in his last season?
Yeah, as Malaga.
I know
Yeah.
what you're saying, Chris, but that's not really.
Because I think when Tottenham, you went to Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
You probably were very happy about him coming to Tottenham.
Yeah, but he were a legend and he were like 31 when he
Yeah,
came
but
back
that's
to
another level, isn't it?
Yeah, but this guy's 4 year older and played in Huesca reserves or something.
No, he played at Huesca,
I'd sign
not reserves.
11 times off the bench.
You don't know why.
well,
We didn't see him play.
I think it's fair to say that not even just amongst the Giri cast, but amongst the wider fan base, this signing has been met with a certain amount of skepticism. I think the ongoing search for strikers and for additional staff is also causing skepticism. There's a lot of former names being mentioned this week. So we've got Stefan Skepovic has been mentioned, Sadiku. I think the one that Lauren wants is a chap over in Poland called Eric Exposito, who is from Malaga originally, played for Malagueño as a youth player before going across to the Canary Islands. He scored 14 goals in Poland this year. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen because I think there is only one way to deal with this, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
You're not going to show a picture of Manu Molina, are you?
And this
Are we
is
going
now
to have
the Malaga transfer strategy of which former striker should we sign? So if you had to pick anyone on this map, who would you pick?
If it's landing on Orlando Sarr or Kai Quintana, I'm leaving.
How many can we have, Nick? Just one?
Just one. We're only allowed one, and you're only allowed one spin of the wheel as well.
I'm going to say if Orlando Sa or is Buenacasa on there?
Buenacasa isn't on there. No. I didn't
Okay,
put him in.
what's his name? Kai Quintana on there?
Guy Quintana's over here. Yeah.
I know where Alex is going. I've just seen it.
I've just seen it as well.
If Jack Harper, Kai Quintana, or Buenacasa is not on there, or Orlando Sa, I will open my window now, throw myself out the window, break my neck, and my neck, and my last words will be, "Hi neighbors in the restaurant. Is it a busy night?" I swear to God.
This strikes me as the way that Malaga are doing their transfer business at the moment because they seem to be going for some old haunts, which some sound fine, some don't sound as fine. But let's try. Let's see what comes up with anyway. Because I think this could be a new transfer strategy.
Oh, almost Salomon Rondo.
Oh,
This could actually happen. This could actually happen.
So this could be the one.
Does that mean we're officially signing Sadiku now?
I don't want to be too reminiscent about this, but yeah, we're signing Sadiku. That is the Lauren and Kike Perez transfer strategy sorted all over. But
that is so strange. I have to say, 20 strikers, it lands on the guy that we are linked with the most.
Yeah, who just left India as well.
I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't be unhappy with Skepovic either.
No. I think to be fair, out of those two, I prefer
Blanco Leszczuk.
Impossible, I think.
It really couldn't happen, but I loved Brandon Thomas. I think his work rate were unbelievable.
Yeah, but if you see at his goal rate, isn't high either.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
I love the way he fights, but Roberto does that as well.
Yeah, his teeth are phenomenal though.
As such, or was he more of a winger, Brandon Thomas?
He did a bit.
He was a striker.
Do
you like his teeth?
Lovely teeth. I saw him at the mini golf at Torremolinos.
You should go to Turkey, mate.
I think anything for me.
You get a great discount in Turkey for your teeth. Really?
I think anything less than Eric Exposito is a failure for Malaga this window. He's the one that they want. He's the one that they want to go and get. And I know it's a financial thing for wages, but as I mentioned before, there is got to be money there. We got £1 million for €1 million for Alex Calvo, 500,000 euros for Christian. Well, will Roberto stay? We don't know. Obviously, he's been linked to Gil Vicente this week. It looks as if that's definitely not happening because Lauren firmly told him that they want €6 million for him. But
But did
winning the
Lauren
market,
say at the start of the season that, in your defense a bit, that the signing of Haitam, who would be like a new player, like a new signing, was going to be the biggest signing of the whole summer?
well, I think that's it. I think, like you say, we are getting to a bit of a desperate situation because there's only a week left of the transfer window. And again, we've only had one player come in, lots of players linked, but again, not players that we're looking to sign from other clubs. So really, are we truly bound by the transfer window? I do not know. So watch that space. We'll keep you up to date with any transfer news coming in as and when we get it. Granada away this weekend. Obviously, we've had it confirmed that the game against Recreativo Granada will be played at Los Comenes. It sounds like, Chris, it's going to be a bit of a Malaga takeover. Is it 2,000 tickets sold so far and more to be made available? 3,000 tickets made so far, sorry. And more to be made available.
I wouldn't call it a Malaga takeover. I would call it a Chris Marquez takeover because I'm going to Granada.
Yay! Is Matt going as well?
I think
Of
Matt's
course he
going
is.
as well. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Matt's definitely
Because
going.
this is the away match everybody wants to go to. Why? Because it's the second closest away match there is.
Yeah.
Los Carmenes is a beautiful stadium. I'll be honest, it's more beautiful when the first team of Granada is playing there. But very, very important is Granada is the city of tapas. So when you order a beer, you get a free tapa. But the tapas in Granada are big. That's where they're famous of.
So you're looking forward to food more than the game.
Yeah.
I'm going for both. But they're famous for it. And that's why a lot of people like to, because I spoke to a few people who go to Granada. They all say, oh, the tapas, yeah, oh, I'm already, oh, the tapas.
No,
Luke,
certainly.
the way we're playing, the tapas will be better than the football.
Yeah.
No. Well, it sounds like it'll be a huge Azul y Blanco takeover of Granada that weekend because I don't think too many of the Granada fans are going to be wanting to watch Recreativo.
Maybe as a response, I was thinking of the same thing, but maybe as a response to, because there are so many Malaga fans attending that they will think, more away fans than home fans. We don't accept that, so let's all go. No,
Chris, it's known as like a friendly derby, isn't it? Like the two fans get on, Malaga and Granada.
Yeah, that's no problem. There's no problems between them.
Well, from one Recreativo to another, just some news to share with you as well that the home game against Recreativo Huelva has been switched from I think it was an 8 p.m. kickoff on the Sunday, now to a dinner time kickoff, 12 p.m. kickoff on that weekend. So just to make you aware of a fixture change there. And then after that, I don't think we've got any more news to share, have we, guys? Nothing secret that's come out in the last 10 minutes I'm not aware of?
No secrets, but
I have people close to a former player. I have my sources, but they're not replying. So
it's a non-starter then. But
yes,
I know who.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
We run about this, don't we, the other day?
Yeah.
Watch that space. Well, that was all the news straight from Rosaleda this week. Let's go back to La Rosaleda on Sunday night and revisit that home game against Castellon next. So it was another home game this weekend. This time, league leaders Castellon were in town. Dick Schroeder and his boys were looking to give us a bit of a nobbing, but it didn't pan out that way, really, in the end, in my book. Chris, Luke, obviously you guys were there. I watched it on the telly at home. No live stream this weekend because it was just me. And Alex, you watched part of it because you were at the basketball.
I watched
a bit more on that, please, Alex Ashmore. Biggest game of the season, top of the league. Gotta watch some basketball.
Well, I went to watch Real Madrid play Bilbao in the Liga Endesa, and I was watching it towards the end. I was tuning in, and then on the metro back as well. I have to say, though, I turned off with 5 minutes left because I got so bored of it. Like, it was horrible to watch.
Well, I would say you probably missed the best part of this game, but I imagine that you watched it back. So, we know you do your due diligence, Alex Ashmore, as a professional. So just to come on to the starting 11 guys, big changes by Sergio Pellicer this week, going in especially into a back three with wing backs. It's like Sergio Pellicer listens to the Givercast. Who knew that would be a good idea? Luke, the back three with Musa and Juande coming back in. Were you impressed with that?
Yeah,
Very
happy.
in midfield.
I was, to be fair, when I saw the team, I was very happy, and the formation, I personally thought in the first half worked very, very well.
No, definitely, and Chris, with this formation, it allowed Dione and Roberto to play together up top as a two. We've only seen that a couple of times this season, and it looked like it was doing quite well.
I think that we are lost because we're changing formations almost every week. We have not a real strategy to play, but I have to agree that this, for a team that's lost, looked pretty okay in the first half.
Yeah,
I think the formation worked because we've been saying quite regularly this season our fullbacks have been one of our greatest strengths. And I don't know if you saw it on TV as much, but Chris, you would have seen it. The amount of space we were creating out wide, especially in the first half. The two centre halves, as you mentioned, then Nick, Juande and Musa, they drew themselves out wide as well. Everybody wanting the ball, etc., but also defending very solidly. I thought this formation is exactly what we needed for this game.
I think what we really needed for this game was Musa again.
Yeah,
that
100%.
boy, insane again.
He's not bad.
He's very good. He's very well.
Yeah, well, and like I say, as part of that three, even with Juande coming back in, taking Murillo and Monte out the firing line a little bit as well, which I thought was quite good. Pellicer was showing some thought to this in me because he knew, and we all knew, that Castellon would play narrow. They would go for you that way. And just by stacking it out a little bit, you will stifle them. And in that first half, it definitely felt that way. It didn't feel that way to start with when Castellon went one goal ahead, but it was disallowed for offside. Obviously, you guys wouldn't have seen this in the stadium. We spotted this on the television straight away. Yeah. We were very fortunate for this to have been chalked off for offside. And again, I don't know if we were just a bit hesitant in the first 5-10 minutes because Castellon really kind of chucked it at us to start with, didn't they, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I think, that one, and I think the foul on Musa that was not too long after that. Don't think it was a foul. I don't know whether that was also offside as well, but they had 2 or 3 clear-cut opportunities. The other goal that they did score was definitely offside, but that first one, unless you zoom in with a microscope, then maybe he's like, his left toe is offside, but I don't know. I don't think it was.
He definitely looked to me like Juande was playing him on, but we were fortunate for that. Luke, Chris, in the stadium, when you're that early into a game and the top of the league team come and score that early on, you start to panic straight away, don't you?
A little bit, but the flag did go up straight away. And I think I wrote in the chat straight away as well, that didn't look offside to me. And like you guys rightly said, it wasn't. But I think the atmosphere remained the same. I thought it was a great atmosphere. Because the flag went up so early, it didn't make us as nervous as it might have done. But I think Malaga straight away, that were maybe a call to get at them. And I think they really did.
Maybe strange, but when you are in Fondo Sur, you don't know the difference between the atmosphere.
The Fondo Sur were insane all game, like they always are. But this game in particular, I thought they really was insane.
Yeah, but we are like, I'm always in the noise. And I know it's great, but I don't see difference between matches or something. Very strange.
No, I think definitely the there was encouragement from that ruled out goal as well, because Malaga really started to put a bit of a foot into this game. There was, a lot of praises for the likes of Manu Molina, like you say, for Joaquin and Danny Sanchez, especially on the wings. Even Roberto and Dione seemed to enjoy themselves up front. Danny Lorenzo did have a chance. It was pulled back to him by, I think it was Dione, who put it back onto a plate from him. 18-yard box. He's in the middle of it. He's around the penalty spot. He gets his foot onto it, but he just sort of rolls it into the keeper's hands. You're not going to get chances like that against Castellon a lot. Is that such a big missed opportunity for Danny Lorenzo, or am I just being a bit harsh?
I think the first thing what we said in the stand were put your foot through it. Like you say, you're 18 yards out, you're doing a side foot and kind of scuffing it. Why do players have to try and be too precise these days? If he makes a good connection with that, it's working the goalkeeper to either parry him or it's smashing into the back of the net.
If he puts his foot through it, though, is there also a risk that it ends up in Rosaleda?
Well, there's a risk either which way, but like Luke said, if he puts his foot through it, he either scores or he gets maybe a rebound off the keeper. And Chris Roberto was jogging on the spot, wasn't he? So I think that's something that we see from Danny Lorenzo, and his last few performances, especially in this calendar year, have been improved, but we're still not maybe seeing the tenacity, the nasty side of Danny Lorenzo that would make him an even better player.
He's not the Danny Lorenzo he was last season at Merida, that's for sure. Because I got a lot of times angry with him in the match where he tried to give a pass and the pass never arrived, and it was always on the final third of the pitch, and that was very frustrating. He really frustrated me last Sunday.
I was going to say, because you picked up on that in the group chat, we were all kind of content with Daniel Lorenzo this week, but I think you were saying that he wasn't as good as he had been, especially in that second half against Sueta. So yeah, when you watch it back, you can see some of the misplaced passes, the indecision. I think it is from Daniel Lorenzo. Sometimes he doesn't look like he's fully sure of what he wants to do next, unfortunately. Castellon then went up and scored another disallowed goal. This time, really was offside. He was miles offside. I think it was Di Miguel. Alex, wasn't it? No complaints there?
No, that's all. I think good. Well, I say it always. Yeah, you've always got to praise them when they do a good job, but you'd be pretty disturbed in many ways if they didn't get that right.
No, well, I'll bring this up now because it was mentioned, not just by myself, but by a few people in the Telegram group. But the officiating in this game was absolutely shocking, wasn't it? Like, from start to finish, the referee didn't seem to really know what was going on.
He was horrible. Like, really the worst referee appearance I saw this whole season.
Well, that's exactly it. If he's not calling offside wrongs, he was booking people for fouls that weren't really a thing. He was not booking...
And not because he was against Malaga or anything like it. He is just not a referee.
No, he lost control of the game, didn't he? Very early on as well.
Yeah.
Not in the last 10 minutes where, he ended up sending somebody off, not to jump a few pages, but, he seemed to lose control within the first 10 minutes, in my opinion. Castellon...
He lost control big time with the headbutt, shall we say, on Manu Molina. He missed 2 or 3 fouls leading up to that, so the crowd were really going. The Castellon player then retaliated, and it was clear to see everywhere he put his head towards Manu Molina. Granted, after watching the replay, it's football. He's not headbutted him. However, for the ref to book him, he's reacting to the Castellon player putting his head towards the other player. How can he give him a yellow card then? If that's in Segunda, as daft as this sounds, if that's in Segunda, that's a red card.
Yeah.
Why the hell is he not fencing off in this game?
And he made an enemy for life as well, did Jesus Di Miguel, because no one touches Manu Molina and gets away with it. Not in this house.
It's like me going to a meeting for Chinese people where everybody speaks the Chinese language, and I would go there and I would say Wang Tang Ping Pong. I can't speak Chinese. He can't be a referee. Why is he on the pitch? And why don't they let me into like Chinese language conferences?
Chris Marquez,
It's not
ladies and
fair, is
gentlemen.
it?
I'm a bit speechless for that, but we'll move on.
It's not fair.
We'll move on. Luke, that first half then, probably for me, going toe-to-toe with a team who are top of the league, who are, people wax lyrical over. We looked good in that first half, in my opinion. I thought we were great.
Yeah, I said at halftime to the people around me, Paul, Maggie, Keith, etc. I thought that was the performance of the season, that first half for me.
No,
I honestly do. I thought we had Castellon by the ropes. There was going
not at all.
I
Not
honestly
at
really,
all.
they didn't look anything special.
No.
I don't
No.
think at all. And I just
But I
think
that's the important thing.
No.
I think
Maybe
that's
you're wearing your white and blue sunglasses.
No, I thought we gave the ball away a hell of a lot. Don't get me wrong. I totally agree with that. But again, out wide, we were looking very dangerous. I said after the game, there was a lot of players who you would say had good performances, but nearly every one of those players did something bad as well. It was quite a good team performance, but also a strange individual performance from some players.
I
Alex,
think we survived very well.
that would be the thing for me, and I'll ask this to you, Alex. We've seen Castellon this season. I don't know if you're like me, but I watch some of the other highlights from the games, or if there is a game on FES TV, I might switch on if I'm not doing anything else. And I've watched Castellon a few times, and they really do take it to teams, especially in the first half. They go hell to leather, and they will run riot when they can, which is probably why they score so many goals early on in games. For me, in this first half, it wasn't a matter that we survived or contained them. We went toe-to-toe with them, and we didn't allow them to play their game, which is, for me, a big success for Malaga. To stifle a team which plays in such a unique and tactical way, it is success for Malaga, I think, on that. And I think with the formation that we had and the players on the pitch, we were equal, if not better. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't... I'd have to maybe disagree with you, Luke, and say it was the best performance, but it was certainly a good performance. Alex, would you agree?
Yes and no. I think, in certain parts of that first half, we kept them at bay. We defended well in parts again. But if there was a different ref, we could have very easily been 3-0 down at the end of the first half, I think. If that was the first goal was given onside.
We should have been down 1-0. So yeah, I don't think it's really fair to be saying we went toe-to-toe because we didn't.
No, I don't think... I think they were the better side in the first half. I think attacking-wise, we didn't really offer anything, too potent. I think it was, very... It was good, but it was like nothing threatening. I never thought, apart from that one chance at the beginning, I didn't really sort of see us getting a goal. I think it was...
Yeah, but neither did they. And that's the thing I take from them. They've got the league's top goal scorer for them. And yes, that first goal was ruled out for offside early on. That's in the first 5 minutes. Another 40 minutes played there. And they
I don't agree. I can't agree with anything you say. Because my friend said it as well. And it's not a question. Like, it shouldn't be a doubt. Malaga has to go up this season. And in this match, you could have smallened the gap between both teams. I didn't see a better Malaga than Castellon. I didn't. And for me, it's not a question when Malaga should go up this season. Because if you're not this season, you're not going to do it anyway. So I'm going to say it later. But big changes are needed because this team is going nowhere. And if you say it's okay and good for Malaga to be going toe-to-toe and not being worse than Castellon, if that's okay for you, it's fine. But it's not for me because Malaga has to go up this season.
It's not a matter of being fine. It's a matter of you can see the performance was there. Yes, they should have had a goal, but yes, they should have had a man sent off.
They should have had throughout the match, the whole match, because a match is 90 minutes. They should have scored 4 or 5 goals.
I think
Yeah,
that's
but
the story of that.
but the thing is, they didn't score 4 or 5 goals, did they? They scored 1 goal in the second half, and we'll come on to that in a second. But for me, if we were in the other division, we wouldn't have a 13-point gap to top place. We'd be in touching distance. Castellon this season have shown that they are a machine. They are invested. They are gutted they didn't go up last year, and they are working hard at it. For that first 45 minutes, I don't think, for me personally, I don't think Castellon looked better than Malaga.
No.
And you can sugarcoat it however way you want, whether it's over they scored 2 disallowed goals.
No, but I think they looked much better.
I think that's
They looked what they are. They looked a good team, but Malaga against other teams, they would have been 2 or 3 up in that first half.
I've seen them created chances where I thought, ooh,
We created chances.
We created
Roberto
chances.
had 2 on near post. What just went wide?
Yeah, Dione tried to scoop one in. Lorenzo,
Danny Lorenzo, like you just said, 18 yards out. They scored a goal. What were onside, and then what else did they do? Really?
I think that's it. And I think when you look at it in comparison to what we'll come on to in the second half, so just to go into through, obviously, Castellon took the lead after about 60 minutes or something like that, through Manu Sanchez, a pretty routine header near the near post, bad marking, I would say. I think it was Dione on his man. It's at this point in the game where Malaga, Pacer really shit himself here. And it just basically went mental.
Yep.
Because the start of the second half, Castellon really came out and went for the throat. There's no two ways about that. We were second best in the second half from the get-go. And as soon as they got that goal, the substitutions that he made, taking Musa and Juande off, putting Isa Marino at centre-back alongside Einar, it just stank of panic to me, Chris. Do you agree, or do you think he did the right thing?
useless, and I think I've been saying it the whole season. He plays nothing. We play nothing football with Pellicer. We play football. He's the perfect guy to be the manager of I don't know, Getafe, who are like he's the perfect coach to go to a team to maintain in the category they're in.
Didn't do too well with Fuenlabrada or Malaga.
But you know what I mean? He's like the perfect guy who will try to get you a point.
Lower half team.
Yeah, bottom half. He will keep you in a division, but he will never get you up because that's not his style of play. His style of play is we score a goal or we try to score a goal, and then we're going to defend, and we're going to maybe score a goal.
Yeah, it really made me doubt him. That decision in that moment in time really made me doubt him a little bit. The fact he didn't persevere, because we're saying it right now. Musa was playing well, Juande was playing well. Later on, he took off Molina, who was having a good game as well. So he's not looking at what's going on the pitch. He's absolutely bottled it and gone, oh, well, Castellon has scored now. We have to abandon this formation, this way of playing that had succeeded in the first half, to go back to what I assumed and what I thought was the usual Pacer way, 4-3-3. Let's get Kevin and Dione on the right wings. Roberto running around up top on his own. And it didn't work because that played into Castellon's hand, didn't it, Luke?
It did. It really did. Our second half performance was a million times different to the first, but as soon as the goal went in, like you say, when he brought Kevin on, he rushed to get Kevin on. He changed the formation, which in truth was working. Musa was playing out of his skin. I can't say Juande did much right or wrong, but he rushed to change his formation just to get Kevin on the pitch. And we didn't need to do that. We really didn't need to do that.
I even say I don't know what Kevin brought this match.
No, I agree. I do agree.
I absolutely agree.
We now really saw the real mediocre player that he is, because against a not so good team, he can do his thing and dribble, but against Castellon, you have to play real football.
Yeah.
Well, when they moved Dione over to the right, Alex, it took him out of the game as well. He actually enjoyed himself playing alongside Roberto in a two. Then when they put him out on the right wing, he just ended up looking lost and then got, again, hooked for Juan Hernandez. It just seemed to me that Pellicer just went all scatterbrain and thought, if I'm going to win this game, I just need to put as many strikers on as possible, which is not a way of managing a football team, is it?
No, I think it's too many rash decisions and decisions that don't seem to have any reasoning behind them. Like you said, tactically incomprehensible. I think I agree with what Chris said. He tries something for a while and then thinks, panic. Bloody hell, it's not working. Let's try something else quick. Well, let's chuck them all up there and see what happens. I think I never, even to be honest, since the beginning of the season, there's hardly been a game apart from, even with Murcia, there's never been a game where I thought, you know what, I reckon we could put 3 or 4 past these, even though we did against Murcia, that they were poor. And
because he is the coach that will keep you in Primera División.
It's the story of our season.
Because that's the football he plays. He will keep you in Primera División by going for a draw and then trying to steal the 3 points away in some kind of way. But he is never going to be the manager that will play for the victory.
It's the story of our season. I think, like you said earlier, Nick, Castellon are usually a team, you could insert any team. X team is usually the team to do this, X, Y, and Z, but they didn't do it today, and they were there for the taking. That's happened quite a few times this season, but we've never capitalized on that. I know we've done well this season. Theoretically, we are 4th. We're in the playoffs. That's a good position for Malaga. I think we should be doing a lot better. But there's been so many times in games where a team has been there for the taking. We've said these guys usually do it against these teams every week, but they didn't do it against us today, and we could have scored 3 or 4. We never score 3 or 4. We have 1 or 2 chances. We maybe get a lucky goal, and then when we sit back and we think, this is it. We're happy with this. I'm at home. I'm not going to bother. At home, you should be going in and killing that team. You should be keeping up with Dione and Roberto up front, keeping the balls going down the flanks and putting those crosses in. You should be going down. I know Castellon play really well through the middle, and that I think that having the 3 centre backs did help. And I think Juan de Musa played really well. I don't think Einar did too bad either. I just sitting back and being cautious and not going for the kill when you're at home against I know they're a good team, but you're at home. You've got 22,000, probably was 26, 27,000.
Yeah, 100%.
Why are you? It's just beggars belief, really. Why
Second half, I heard everybody around me say, we're not going to create any chance from here.
No,
after the 1-0, everybody said, no way we create a chance.
It was the same against Real Sociedad. I know it's Real Sociedad, but there was that immediate sinking feeling. The game's over. We can go home now. I wouldn't even be surprised if we finish 8th this season.
We said the exact same, Chris. Up where we were sat, we said the exact same. We just don't really create anything. We was not going to get a goal. Even looking back to when me and Laura went to San Luqueño, a relegation team, would you say? It was 0-0 with 15 minutes left, and we never felt confident we were ever going to score. Malaga don't give you that feeling that, it's coming.
Because we don't create anything. Because that's not what we want. We want to steal away a goal and then hope nobody scores against us. But
I did think
Where-
La Rubia had a decent game when he came on. He looked lively. But again,
Yeah,
gave
I think-
the ball away quite a lot, but he did look very lively.
And with that said, but again, the same La Rubia is more, he does these things, but what does it bear fruit for? Not an awful lot, unfortunately.
that's more the question I've got with Kevin. Like, how, if we would go up now at this very moment, how would Kevin perform in Segunda División?
Well, it'd be
think-
interesting. It's looking less and less likely that could be a thing because Castellon are now 13 points clear. We've really got ourselves in a position where a couple of months ago we were very much in a three-way race for the top spot. That's now seemingly gone because I think we are 9 points behind Ibiza as well. It's more looking over our shoulder at the minute because Cordoba have overtaken us. We've got Recreativo Huelva up our arse. Antequera not too far away, Intercity not too far away, Sueta not too far away. So it's cautious times. Just to remind ourselves as well that Castellon did eventually have a player sent off in this game in the 94th minute. For a team that plays such lovely, aesthetically pleasing football, Castellon are a bunch of shithouses as well, really, aren't they? That's the big thing I took from this game. They've got a very mean streak, which probably.
That red card could have come 20 minutes earlier.
I've never seen a team that one in the first half.
I have never seen a team pull back players so much, which is a yellow card. The referee must have ignored that 4 or 5 times. The player who got sent off eventually, he should have been sent off 15 minutes earlier for pulling back. Kevin, I think it was Kevin twice.
If it gets you the win, playing like that.
A mistake Malaga made was, if you look at the full first half and you see the goalkeeper of the away team not being able to take a goal kick himself, you should have put pressure on them. But it was only Roberto who was putting the pressure on the defender and the goalkeeper.
He was. Well, let's wrap it up then anyway.
If you would put pressure on them with every goal kick, it would be a very different match because you would have them. And that's something Pellicer should have said also from the bench, and he didn't.
No. Well, let's move into our Chumbos and Biz Naggers then. I imagine this is going to be an easy/hard week for most because it was a game of ups and downs. So, Chris Marquez, I'll come to you for your Chumbo first.
Because I'm the boss man, I'm going to do something different this week.
You might be nicking mine here.
And I don't know if it's allowed or not, and I don't care because I am the boss man. I'm going with Pellicer.
Oh, one for Pellicer.
But also, if it wasn't Pellicer, it would be Kevin.
You are on my wavelength, Chris. That was exactly who I was going to pick as well. Just for that absolute mind-boggling tactical naivety in that second half that I was going to say Pellicer. If I had to pick a player, then I was going to pick quite harshly Sangali, but he wouldn't really get much time on the pitch. But again, when he was on the pitch, he didn't look that great, again, in my opinion. Luke, Chumbo.
I'm going to 100% agree with Chris. I was hoping it were allowed, but Sergio deserved it here. I don't think he gave us a fighting chance. He shit himself.
I allow it now. I don't care what Matt says. He's not here.
I also agree with you, Nick. If I was to give it another, maybe unfortunate because he got injured, but I just don't understand what Sangali's doing since he's come back.
No, he's a shadow of himself, isn't he? Alex Ashmore, your Chumbo for this week.
To be fair, apart from Lucas Sangali, I don't think anyone else did horrifically. I think Herrero made a couple of really good saves.
One insane save, by the way.
That long shot. Are you talking about the long shot?
No, there was another save. I think with his foot.
Yeah. Also, the one from the shot.
But the long shot was pretty good as well.
How far out it was. But yeah, I think Herrero played, quite well. Some really good saves. I don't think the fullbacks did too bad. Defense, I quite like a combination of those three, whether it is those three or two of them. I think, I'm quite happy with Juande and Musa as our centre-back pairing. If you'd asked me that 2 months ago, I would have said no. But Dani Lorenzo probably could have done a lot better. I think Manu Molina is definitely becoming one of my favourites in the midfield.
Time for smooth face.
Wait till Ramon is back.
I can hear the Jeremy Clarkson Top Gear reference. Now time for smooth face now. Yeah, Dione and Roberto, I think they're developing a little bit of a partnership at long last up front. Up front, not on the wing, Sergio.
I've been calling for it all season. Play the two together up as a two.
Are you going to do this every week, Alex, by the way? You're going for the whole team. There's going to be no one left.
He went to Real Madrid TV.
On Real Madrid.
But you see how serious. Well, do you all see how serious it is? Well, first of all, now that I'm on Real Madrid TV, I can't make a joke anymore. I have to be very serious because now it's some kind of job, and this is what I do. This is make my living of it. First of all, let me go through the whole team to show myself more, to show everyone how much knowledge I have. And then I'm going to look very serious with it, because then people think I'm a very serious journalist. But I'm also going to talk really nice, without any swear words, without making a joke, very serious, because that's what good journalists do.
As I was going to say, my chumbo, and I think, it has to be Sergio Pellicer. I think tactically clueless, inept, rigid, scared in a way. The substitutions didn't work, whether that was the fault of the player.
Say it, Alex.
But yeah, Sergio Pellicer had an absolute...
He is not the man for Malaga. I want you to say it, because if you say it, as the professional journalist you are, everybody will believe you.
He had an absolute stinker, and if he got sacked tomorrow, I would be, I wouldn't be against it.
A political correct answer. You're such a journalist.
Well, that leads us on to our Biznagas then, and I'm just going to say this. This is a fairly easy week. 2 of you, 3, if we include Matt, who's not here tonight, got to see the true side of what we've all been talking about. What a game from Manu Molina. He's definitely my business.
No.
I'm sure you all agree.
No.
Let's just move on. That's a unanimous decision. Manu Molina it is.
See you next week.
Alex, can you give a political... can you correct Nick in a political correct way as a journalist?
Well, Chris Marquez, I'll come to you first then. Who is your Biznaga for this week?
It's easy. Very easy. No. Musa. Again.
Yeah, Musa is a good choice. Musa is a solid choice, but he's no Manu Molina. Luke Chambers, who are you choosing?
Honourable mentions, 100% for Musa. I thought he was fantastic.
You're not going Manu Molina.
Manu Molina, honourable mention.
Oh, that's okay.
I thought a bit of a rogue one. I thought Dani Sanchez were great in the first half. 60 minutes, I thought they were unfortunate to come off, but I suppose that were all part of the Kevin plan. But yeah, I'm going to go Dani Sanchez, but Musa very, very, very closely behind.
Use the word plan there, Luke. Are you sure that's what it was?
Maybe the wrong word. Maybe the wrong word.
Well, Luke Chambers' drunken text message.
A very correct journalist joke. I'm watching Alex's podcast. Maybe I can learn something from it.
Manu.
Is that what you learn at the university?
Alex Ashmore, who is your Biznaga for this week?
I think credit to the fans for turning up again. Yeah, they were brilliant.
Oh,
that is a politically correct answer, isn't it?
You are an ass kisser.
It's an election year, isn't it?
Who was it? I can't remember who said this, but about 3 years ago, I missed the podcast and someone commented saying, looking forward to what sensible Alex has to say.
You once missed a live stream because you fell off your bike.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That
I
happened
think
as well.
fans were fantastic. I just purely
Steward,
because of his work rate,
staff,
Brownman.
his
ground
work
people.
rate, and I don't think he went a little bit unnoticed in parts, but I think he was the only real threat. I'm going to go with Roberto. I think he's my business.
Roberto.
He was a good choice.
Yeah,
He works his swingers off, doesn't he, basically? Nick, honourable mention for Castellon's kit.
Do you think it was great? No.
Yeah, Matt agreed. What a lovely kit.
It's all right. I preferred Sueta's.
No, I didn't like that one either. It was too bright.
It looked like Real Madrid. It was disgusting, like a Real Madrid white.
I was going to say, you should be all over it, Alex. So
No, you do white, but you have to do it well. That wasn't well.
that is a bad. You should hope no one clips that, Alex. That is bad journalism. That is not politically correct. Anyway.
You know where he says, yeah, it in some way he does, because he says that is not the correct way to do it, but he's not saying that is ugly. No, because ugly is offensive. But he says it's not the correct way to do it.
It's not the correct way to do it.
That's what I'm going to say from now on. I'm going to be the new.
I'm talking
Before
about
this podcast descends into chaos,
I'm copying Alex Esmer from now.
And let's go and talk about a trip.
It's not the correct way to do it. Let's
city of
continue with
tapas.
this.
The city. I'm talking, Chris. The city of Tapa, Granada this weekend. Honestly, we take the teacher out of this forum and everything just descends into chaos without Matt the teacher here. I'm going to have to bring him back in to tell you all off. Anyway.
It's not the correct way to do it, lads. Not the correct way.
Not the correct way to do it. This weekend, we have a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff if you are UK-based, or 4 p.m. if you are in Spain. A trip just up the road to Granada, as Chris mentioned before, the city of Tapa. And the beautiful Alhambra as well, if you like that kind of thing. Or the beer, Alhambra Reserva, which is absolute rocket fuel, but is beautiful, beautiful stuff in a delicate green bottle. So, we've already established that Chris Marquez is making the trip up this weekend. We know Matt Harrison is making the trip up this weekend, but 3,000 other fans are also making their way to Granada. Recreativo Granada aren't actually a good footballing side. They find themselves marooned in the bottom 5 at the minute. They struggle for wins all season. They're a bit of a pub team, really. Chris.
Well, Nick.
On Saturday, aren't you?
It's... I don't think it's the correct way what you're saying, because they're the B team, and they will always be in the shadow of Granada's first team, first of all. So I think for a B team as well, it's not really about the way they perform. It's about having the players get better, get used to the professional football. I think that's the biggest win these players can get from playing in a league such as Primera RFF. But when you look at the players, well, they're not at Granada for nothing. They have the skills and the talent to become great footballers. But unfortunately, what you see in more of these other B teams is that they don't have the professionality, or they're not really professionals yet. So that makes it difficult for them to get to the level of the other teams.
Alex Ashmore, how shit are B teams? Like, what a waste of time. What a waste of time.
What he said.
what he said.
I, to be honest, really dislike the idea of B teams. I do agree with what you said, Chris. It's just, it doesn't excite me at all.
No fun. No fun.
I'd much rather, this weekend I'm going to watch Rayo Majadahonda against Cultural Leonesa. I'd much rather have played Rayo Majadahonda. They're a small team in Madrid. Granada B teams should not be playing in professional football. I'll leave it at that. And
This is someone who did live commentary on Real Madrid Castilla's.
Well, no, I just don't think it's not fair to other teams, smaller teams, who could potentially take up that spot. And especially for the bigger teams who have those quality players, you've got players who play Champions League football in the week, and then they're playing third division football at the weekend. What's the point?
I also think that is not correct.
Is nothing correct?
Basically, they're shit. We're quite shit. It's going to be a poor game. Hopefully, we'll get 3 points.
They've only won 2 games.
Is that what you want, Nick?
There's shit, and then there's being rooted to the bottom of the table. 2 wins all season. You usually play your home games at the local park by the looks of things. This actually might get them up for it. Playing in the main big stadium. It might actually drum a bit of fire in them, maybe. But then also there's going to be 3,000 Malaga fans there, so it feels a bit harsh more than anything. To go on to the actual game itself, Pacer obviously showed that he was a bit naive in the week. Do you think he should go back to 3 at the back against Recreativo Granada and see if he can get it to click?
Well, it's hard when you're in his position because he gets to work with the players the whole week, and then he might try things in training sessions as well. And
Chris, turn back to being Chris.
We just don't know what he sees or what the way he thinks.
This Chris
but let's not forget.
Your hands keep doing this, and for people listening through an audio medium, I'm gesturing comparing melons.
He's half Italian now.
This is
I
it.
I thought you were trying to touch his microphone, to be honest.
No, guys, this is not correct. No, fuck, I can.
There we go.
He's lost it. We've beat him.
He's back.
Luke, for this game against.
How can you be this way, Alex?
Luke, for a team against bottom of the league, does Peace? He's got to put down a marker here, hasn't he? He's got to look at the fact that he's lost the last 2 games, a draw against Intercity. The post-Christmas period has not been kind to Malaga. We've got a very favourable looking February coming up. It starts this weekend against Recreativo Granada. He has to win this by 3 goals, 4 goals. He has to go mad, doesn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's four guys in this chat now who's starting to lose a bit of patience with him. So I imagine there's 3,500 Malaguistas on Saturday, and I imagine there's 30, 40, 50,000 other Malaguistas who's maybe thinking the same. So we really need to go there Saturday and put a hell of a performance in. Let's destroy. Like we've said, these aren't very good. Let's put 3 or 4 or 5 by somebody.
Yeah, Alex.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it really helps because now you win with 3 goal difference. It didn't help when we won against Murcia, so it will probably not change anything now, will it?
Down the line, though, it could.
Yeah.
It's worth trying to get.
Then we've got a good February.
But you keep saying that, but I don't think.
On paper, we've got a good February.
Yeah, on paper.
On paper, but in reality, we're shit against everyone.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
We've only lost 4 games all season. This is something.
Yeah, but how many did we draw? I think that's the
2 in the last 5.
You know what you should be, Nick?
What?
The campaign leader for Pellicer when he wants to become the mayor of Malaga.
Like I said, I don't think it's
because you're not telling the total truth there. He only lost 4, but how many did he draw?
Yeah, but drawing's not the same as losing. You still pick up a point for drawing.
No, but it's also suggesting that he has a lot more wins.
I think maybe the question to say, Chris, is how many games have we played well in this season?
Yeah, because
Like we say, losing 4 is a good stat, but how many
yeah, and
times
how many did we draw?
We haven't performed too many times.
Did we draw 7?
6 draws, 10
6
wins.
draws.
Hmm.
So 6 draws, 10 wins, and 4 losses. It's not
29
the
goals,
worst.
29 goals for, 18 goals against.
How many
And I
goals
think going-
against?
29 for, 18 against.
Yeah, you know, in any other season, and it'd be interesting to look at the opposite table as well. You know, I just think we are up against a bit of a beast with Castellon and Ibiza. That's the worst part of it for me, and that's just the way I look at it.
I always
You know,
Malaga are our own problem at times. I mean, when with some of the teams, what we're not taking the 3 points from, that is maybe the issue, not the Castellon and Ibiza. Although they are different animal, Nick. They really are.
Yeah.
They're too good for this.
They
league.
are.
But we
If
should
we
be
were-
too good for this league.
If we were in the other group, we'd be 3 points off top. That's
We're not in the other group.
No, I know, but that's what I'm trying to say.
And we don't know where we would be then, because then we would be playing against other teams. So that's also
It's conjecture, but what I'm
it's
saying
based on nothing.
a 36.
Yeah, but that's like saying Castellon should have been 3-0 up at half time. There wasn't.
Yeah, it's based on nothing.
Yes, the same.
Let's be
Take that,
politically
bitch.
correct.
But
What I'm trying to say, looking at from thing, Pace has got to put down a marker this weekend, and there is no better team in this league to wipe the slate clean and get back on track against bottom of the league, is there? Especially when then you've got another relegation threatened team the week after at home. We then got a trip, I think it was to another bottom side after that. Cushion by 12 are a playoff contender, but you want to get momentum up until that game. So that's all I'm saying is Pace has got to react. And Alex, if it was you, you know, how if you were Pace right now, what would you do to get that positive result?
I like all of what you're saying, and I think
I would resign.
yeah,
I like your words.
I would resign. I would say here.
I like all of what you're saying, but I can honestly, you know, hand on heart, can firmly say that at 4:30 on Saturday afternoon, he won't have done any of those things. We'll be 30 minutes in and we'll be thinking, oh, we're slow starting again. That wasn't that good for half an hour. He's not going to change anything. We're going to be saying we should be beating these 2 or 3-0.
Yes.
They're bottom of the league. They've won 2 games all season. It's going to be 0-0.
And you know what his response will be after the match?
After 60 minutes. Or, you know, he said, was it the last match? He said, we don't have to say sorry. We gave everything.
Yeah, that's what he always says. He said, like, the players gave their all.
Come out with an answer. I'd play Musa and Juande at the back. I'd back 4. I'd put 3 in the midfield, Manu Molina and 2 other youngsters, maybe Aaron Ochoa Maloney and 1 other. And then up front, I would put Dione and Roberto, and just behind someone else. 3, and maybe get the wing backs to be coming forward. If you want to play 5 at the back against bottom of the league, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Overload, Alex. Football manager overload, all that attack.
Literally, they're bottom of the league.
If I was Sergio Pellicer now, what I would be thinking is banging on Loren's door and saying, get me a striker.
I think this is a big part of it. And I think
yes and no, because it's also Loren Juarez who decides the future about Pellicer. But Pellicer said, if I'm not going up, because that's what he said in the interview, if I'm not going up this season, Malaga doesn't go up, I'm out. I'm going.
I mean, yeah.
Well, his job is
that's what he said.
Very, very difficult, to say the least.
Well, he can go through playoffs, but I think, I don't know. I'm not happy the way Malaga is playing the whole season. If I was Loren Juarez, I would always almost poop myself every week, because the last 20 minutes of every match are very killing.
Nick,
for a Malaga fan. Imagine
Chris,
if you're the...
Would you sack Sergio Pellicer?
I wouldn't phrase it that. I wouldn't say it that way. I would ask the question differently.
Is this Real Madrid TV, Chris, or Chris?
I'm going to say different. I'm going to ask you the question, but I'm going to do it different than yours. But I'm going to do it political correct. Do you guys think Pellicer is the right man at this moment for Malaga?
No.
I wouldn't change anything at the moment.
That there's two sides to the coin. He's not the right man for the job, but if you get rid of him, there's no one else to come in that would be the right man of the job for the job at this part of the
Exactly.
season.
How do you know?
How
do you know?
If there is someone who's decent for this level, is Lorraine going to fork out the money for him?
No. That's exactly it for me. I don't think there would be anyone who is.
We know what
I think there are a lot of coaches on them.
We're a former manager who was shit back then, but they're available. They're still living on Costa del or something, and it'd be, come on, can you help us out?
I think there are a lot of good managers who probably are available. We don't know them all, but you cannot tell me that there's no one available who could be the right fit for Malaga.
Well, you could say that. You know, well, Jose Mourinho has just been sacked by Roma. He's available technically.
No, but Dick Schreuder is a hell of a coach. Did anyone of you know him before? I think because Sergio Pellicer wasn't the choice of Loren Juarez. He wasn't.
No, but I think as well, you've got to look at it from two different perspectives. Is that Castellon they've got that forward-thinking momentum. That they're £9 million or €9 million in the red for a reason, because they are showing ambition. Malaga they wouldn't do that.
I'm sorry. I think it's a big risk. Malaga took that risk the season they went down. They are never going to make that €9 million in Segunda. I don't believe it.
No, they won't. Castellon probably got ideas of going above and beyond that with the money they're putting in. But the problem is with us, we're not putting that money in. So
it's very, very dangerous way of thinking.
It is. But anyway, it'd be interesting to see. But he's got a job to clearly win back parts of the fan base already, and he does that against.
Luke, what do you have for us on Granada?
Nothing much than what we've currently got. Just bottom of the league, 20 games. They don't score many goals at all. They've scored 12 goals in 20 games. To me, that shows that they're not going to be very attacking. It is a former Malaguista who is their top goal scorer with 3 goals, and that is, do we know, centre forward Julio Martinez. Who was just a young striker who
Julio.
Okay. They're a bit of a dirty team, but there's nothing to say that we shouldn't go there and put a performance on. Do I believe we will? I agree with Alex, really. I don't. You never know what Malaga's going to turn up.
Do you guys want to hear an interesting stat?
Go for it.
So our top scorer is Roberto with 7 goals, but he averages a goal every 207 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing is, we're in.
No, I think Pellicer is great. He should stay because the way we play is fantastic. I think everything we do, everything he does is fantastic. I really think he's the right man for us.
Chris loves the pay press.
The thing is, obviously, Nick, just going back to when we did the mid-season show, Chris, you have always stuck to your views about Pellicer. I'll give you that. You have always said he's not about. But 4 weeks ago, when we hadn't hit this horrific form in January, we were right up Castellon and Ibiza's arses. So he can be the right man, but something's just not right. I totally agree with that.
I think if you want the honest answer, I think we got lucky the first half of the season because our football was shit.
Yeah.
Our football was shit. There were many times we got away lucky. I think it was luck. I truly believe it was luck, and the luck is you get to a moment where you're out of luck.
Well, we'll certainly see what happens as of this weekend. Like I say, a big chance to get another 3 points to the board, and boy, do Malaga need them. So we shall wrap up there. I doubt there's going to be a live stream this weekend, just with it being a 3 o'clock UK kickoff. Maybe we'll blame the blackout for that, but I'm actually at a wedding. I assume, Alex, you're busy at Real Madrid or something. Chris, you're in Granada, so it would leave Luke just on his own to do a full live stream, which I don't think he's keen on doing. So we'll keep you up to date with that one. Remember as well, top right-hand corner of this screen, there is a QR code for donating towards Robin's medical treatment.
Yes, let's bring them in. Get your phone out, scan it,
scan,
and donate.
Every little helps on that front. So, to end this week's GillyCast show, I want to say thank you very much to Chris Marquez.
Thank you. If you are not watching it on YouTube and you think, oh, I want to help out, sure, just check our social media. We will post there some links as well to the GoFundMe page of the family. We will post out the Spanish one for the euros and the English one for the pounds. So very important. If you can donate, please make it happen. Let us reach the 500,000 as soon as we can.
Indeedy. And thank you very much to you, Luke Chambers.
Thank you very much, mate. I know tonight's been a bit more of a negative one from us all, but let's keep with the lads. Hopefully get 3 points in Granada. Vamos Malaga.
Vamos Malaga. And Alex Ashmore in Madrid, thank you to you.
Thank you very much. As I said, off to some third division Grupo Uno this weekend, not Malaga.
Do you ever watch Malaga?
I do.
No.
I do.
Something on.
Just not when they're playing live.
He's live as this man, hasn't he, Alex Ashmore?
He's even stopped saying Vamos Malaga. He's even
Vamos
stopped.
Malaga.
There it goes. It's back.
And can I get a Vamos Robin?
Vamos Robin.
Vamos Robin.
Vamos Robin.
Vamos Robin.
And thank you to you all for listening at home as well. You can go and follow us on our social media pages. And as we've mentioned before, do go and check out the Just Giving pages for Robin too, if you can. So thank you very much for listening. You've been listening to the GillyCast on Sports Direct Radio and the Sports Social Podcast Network. I've been Nick Bell. Adios and Vamos Malaga.